I thought I'd make a short video. Teeny tiny. Show. I don't guess I'm getting around him, so I'll go ahead and start. Alright, 7 books that you need to read and have an opinion on to consider yourself science fiction fantasy reader, okay? You don't need to read them in order or immediately or anything like that, but I think that you should have an opinion on it, good or bad, you know, just say that you read science fiction fantasy, because these are not the pinnacles. I mean, some people think they are. I think they're amazing, but I think that, you know, anybody who has been reading science fiction or fantasy has touched these 3 series in some way. They may not like them, but they have touched them, okay? A must-read for fantasy is Brandon Sanderson, and the must-read for science fiction is Scalzi. They were mandatories. I mean, you need to read them. Yeah, sticking around. So, anyways, Brandon Sanderson, boom, the fantasy guy. We got Mistborn, 1, 2, and 3. That's Final Empire, Well of Ascension, and Hero of Ages. You need to read those first 3. You don't have to read the Wax and Wane 4 books, but I would suggest doing that. I mean, they're freaking hilarious. So you need to have an opinion on those 3. They're really great. I don't know why anybody would hate them, although I cannot get my wife to read them, so I don't know. That was in like the I don't know, like history-ish side. It's not history, but like that fantasy side of no modern technology, okay? Then we'll skip way ahead to the future and we'll do sci-fi, which would be John Scalzi, who is the Brandon Sanderson of sci-fi. I mean, I don't know which one came first, the chicken or the egg, the Brandon Sanderson or the Scalzi. They are respectable pillars in their own genre. So, I mean, they own that shit. Just saying. You only have to read one of his. I mean, his series goes on, and I think it's continuing to go on just like Mistborn is, but I think you at least need to read Old Man's War. You can finish with that book, and it kind of wraps up, sort of. If you just want to leave it at that, you could. I would suggest reading on because I love the shit out of that series, but, you know, you need to read Old Man's War, okay? So far we've gotten 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4! Alright. And the next one, and then I went into the future, and I did SF stuff. So now we're going to go to the present. Dresden Files. You should read the first 3 in there. By that time, a lot of the main characters that are going to pop up in the series have popped up. At least once. You might not know they're a main character or whatever, because he does a great job of putting characters in there and not using them till later. I fucking love that. I don't like when a character pops up in a book, like at the beginning of the book, and then they die in that book. I just hate that. So, or whatever, in a series, anything like that. I like, you know, long game, where you can go back and be like, oh damn it, that was that guy, that was that one person. You know, that kind of thing. I don't know, he even says in the audiobooks that the 3rd one is like really where it really takes off. So, you know, by the time you get done with the 3rd one, if you don't like the series, then you probably won't like the series. But man, I don't know people that wouldn't. Dresden Files. I mean, who the hell doesn't like Dresden Files? Okay? There are 2 pillars in the science fiction and fantasy. There's a pillar in science fiction and there's a pillar in fantasy. The science fiction pillar is John Scalzi. The other pillar we will call Brandon Sanderson, and we'll call it that because that's his name. So anybody that's read has probably read some of these books, so if you want to start talking about books, you need to talk about these. I mean, you may not run into anybody that likes them, but they'll come up and you don't want to look a dumbass. I guess that's all I got to say about that. Damn it! Not another one! Yeah, just fuck around with your truck for a bit, please. Oh, I hate you. I hate you so much. God damn it, this guy, if he would quit fucking with his phone and stop trying to drink his Jack Daniels, then maybe he would be able to fucking drive! Ugh. Yeah, imagine that. We got a fucking stop up here. Cocksucker. Like you didn't see that fucking red truck sitting there. Get off your goddamn phone. I'm driving around this motherfucker. There's a cop back there. I hope I don't get a ticket. That's fucking boss back there. Did you see that? Alright, I didn't get pulled over.